One of the great promises of God is that He will respond to our cries and pleas for help. Now, it may not come when and how we want, but it will come. Let's go over Psalm chapter 3, verse 4. Salmo capítulo 3, versículo 4, and learn this promise en español. Con mi voz clamé al Señor, y Él me respondió desde su santo monte. Con mi voz means with my voice. Note that the word me, when it has no accent over the I, means my. But when it does have an accent over the I, it means me. Regarding the word voz, which means voice, the V in Spanish is normally pronounced with a B sound, and Z is pronounced with an S sound. So you have voz. Make sure you pronounce it quick and sharp, voz. So far then we have con mi voz. Clamé al Señor means I cried aloud to the Lord. Note that it's in the past tense. Clamé is from the verb clamar, which means to cry out loud with force, and it can even be a bit of a demand. The point here is that the psalmist is expressing an urgency, a type of personal distress with his plea. Now, something interesting to note is that in the English version, I'm using the ESV translation by the way, it says, I cried aloud, without any reference to my voice. So in Spanish, there's a double emphasis that seems to give it more of an intense personal cry. I like that. Al Señor means to the Lord. Al means to the, and it's actually a contraction of a plus l, like don't is a contraction of do not. In English, it's okay to use either version, but in Spanish, you would never use a plus l in a sentence. It's always al. Now, of course, there are exceptions, like when el is part of a formal name, El Paso, for example, but that can be for another video. So far then, we have con mi voz clamé al Señor, y Él me respondió, means, and He answered me. Y Él stands for and He. Again, when El has an accent over the E, it means he or him. And when it doesn't, it simply means the. Note that El is a capitalized pronoun, and this refers back to the Lord from the first part of the sentence. Me respondió means answered me. Me is spelled just like me in English, but the pronunciation is like an M-E-H, me. Respondió is from the verb responder, which means to respond. Note the accent on the last O, and that's where the stress of pronunciation needs to be. Respondió. Respondió. Here, it's in the past tense, and it's actually referring to an answer given at a specific moment in the past, versus a continual answer that keeps being repeated over and over. The verb in that case would be respondía. Let's repeat what we have so far. Con mi voz clamé al Señor, y Él me respondió. Desde su santo monte means from His holy hill. Desde means from, and here it's referring to a specific location, su santo monte. Su is capitalized because it's referring to Señor. Typically in Spanish, the adjective comes after the noun. For example, Monte Santo. But here, the psalmist wants to emphasize the holiness of the hill, so he reverses the order and says Santo Monte, holy hill. So now, let's put the whole verse together. Con mi voz clamé al Señor, y Él me respondió desde su santo monte. At normal speed. Con mi voz clamé al Señor, y Él me respondió desde su santo monte. Well, mis amigos, I pray that you enjoyed our time together and that you can now repeat this verse confidently in Español. If so, please like and subscribe. And also, I would love to hear your comments and suggestions down below. And if you have a particular verse that you'd like me to translate, por favor, please note that as well. Until next time, may the Lord bless you abundantly. Amen.